Two young women chatting in rural Cambodia. It's an almost idyllic village scene, a testament to the bond between friends. The bond between Thierry and Sampor is genuine, but the subject they're talking about can be deeply unsettling. The abuse Thierry confronts with her father. At the age of 25, Chea Sampor left her home in the Cambodian capital of Phnom Penh to serve as a Youth Star volunteer in a village 400 kilometers away. Funded by the UN Trust Fund, the program enlisted 20 university graduates to spend a year in underserved rural communities to mobilize young men and women as agents of change against domestic violence. Volunteers establish youth clubs to empower young people about gender issues, to help prevent domestic violence before it begins. In the villages, community leaders say that along with illiteracy, school dropout problems, and gang issues, domestic violence has been on the rise. Community leader Sang Marm. In regards to domestic violence, there's been an increase. Before we received Youth Star volunteers to our villages, there were over 70 families with domestic violence in this commune. A nation still emerging from decades of conflict, Cambodia has little tradition in the way of talk therapy. When Sampor first arrived in her host village, she was homesick and struggled to connect with villagers, until she opened up with one woman about her own experience with her parents. She asked, "Are they divorced?" I said no. She asked, "So what's wrong?" I said, "Since grade 6, I've rarely seen my dad." Other villagers soon began to trust Sampor, like Savi and her husband Ra, who would sometimes beat her. Before Sampor came to work with us as a couple, we didn't really get along. He often used violence or nasty words. When I talked back to him, he would beat me. Since Sampor has been meeting with us, he seems to be more understanding. In another village, a Youth Star volunteer used another method to explain the causes and effects of domestic abuse: drama. As part of a show, members of a youth group organized by Tira, a Youth Star volunteer, performed skits about domestic violence, some of which they had witnessed in their own lives. Tira says the skits have proven effective at highlighting the problems of domestic violence. Seeing their children's skits really prompted the parents to change their behavior. The storylines performed by their kids reflected their own families, so it impacted the parents emotionally. Sometimes it made them cry. It's not just the villagers whose lives are changed by breaking the pattern of domestic abuse. Upon finishing their service in the villages, Youth Star volunteers report increased self-confidence and leadership skills, with which many hope to continue to work for social change. By starting at the grassroots in remote villages and capitalizing on the role of youth as catalysts for change, Youth Star envisions that communities can pave the way for nonviolence across Cambodia.